Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Pankaj Sang, and welcome to another episode of One More Time podcast. Guys, let me ask you, when was the last time you took that brave decision that had a huge impact on your life and the life of your loved ones? When was it? Well, if you're like me, I can tell you these decisions and these events rarely happens in a lifespan. And whenever it happens, all of us we take a lot of time to research about it, do our due diligence and take that right decision and in the right path to experience a positive result, right? Yes, we all take that time. But what if we have to take that brave decision every day? Can you take that? Well, starting an online business, I learned it a hard way because I am the first generation entrepreneur in my family. And I have never learned any kind of business from anyone previously because I studied mechanical engineering and I started doing a job as a mechanical design engineer for a multinational company back home in India. And I was working there for 10 years. I had managed a team of quite a few engineers during the life course, and that's how I learned. But little did I knew that one day I would take that big decision to fly thousands of kilometers across the continents and settle here in Canada for good. And that off with my family, with my wife, and with my 2-year-old son. When I landed here, I came with a big dream to start a living. But like everyone else, I rented a 2-room basement apartment in the Toronto area and I started living there. As soon as I landed here, I got a good job in a multinational company in Woodbridge, Ontario. And my profile was a CNC machinist. Hard upon that is that it used to start at 11 o'clock in the night till 7 o'clock in the morning. But when I started it, I slowly started to realize that this is a really good job and I can stick to it for a longer time. And maybe this is something I wanted to do. But little did I knew that in the coming days it's gonna change again forever, and that's how after 3 months of working there, my supervisor came to my seat in the company and he told me that Pankaj, we are telling you that you no longer have to come to work tomorrow, and this is the time that we are giving or we are laying you off, and just stay at home, and if ever we would need your help to come back here, we would first call you and then you can decide to come back. Well, I can tell you this next 30 seconds, I was speechless. I was absolutely devastated and broken from heart that what I'm going to do. I have to go find a good job again. I have to restart everything from scratch after 2 or 3 months. And even if in the winters when there are no jobs, it would be the hardest thing that I would do. But that day I changed 2 buses while coming back to home, and around 8:30 when I came back home, I shared the news with my wife, who was actually making tea at that time. I can never ever ever forget that moment when we had a good 2 3 minutes of silence when I broke this bad news with my wife. We felt aimless, unmotivated since I got the layoff, and this is one of the first layoff, and I had practically no idea what I would do. But little did I knew that, after a couple of days of going through little depression, that I would say, I took that big decision to not go back to that work which I couldn't do at first place. But this is the thing which motivated me to take or start taking small and small decisions again and again with everyday life. So today I'm going to talk about quickly 5 things that we need to take or master the art and skill of decision making. The first, you need to understand what motivates you. Yes, when I heard this question the first time couple of years ago, I actually laughed as well. But that is why this is an important question. You need to understand and realize what motivates you in the real life. Now, I know it's not a job that you do, right? That's not the real motivation. Now, the examples for the motivation can be your family. Like for me, my family is my biggest motivation. Now, the motivation can be if you love traveling with your family to some place, that can be a good motivation. If you like listening to the music, that can be a motivation. If you love reading, that can be a motivation. If you love talking to your parents for a long time and seek their blessings, that can be a motivation. So there are a lot of things that you can write, and take a paper and a pen and write everything. It will take a couple of minutes. You may pause this podcast and start writing it. That's what will create a big difference if you want to. The second would be where you draw your values from. Now, I can tell you, whatever my father has taught me, it's been 15 good years. I still miss him to date. Whatever he taught me, I'm trying everything to put everything in the mind of my son as well, who is 9 years old, and he likes it. So it's important to understand where you draw your values from, even it's your parents, it's your teachers, mentors, coaches, where you draw your values from. Second is to understand what can be the risks if you start taking decision on everyday basis. What can be the risks? You will fail, you will learn, you will lose. What it's gonna be? If you take a decision today, there are two things which are eventually going to happen. Either you will win or you will learn. You will never lose. Because that was your responsible decision that you wanted to go in this way, and this is the time you ended up losing a couple of things. But with this loss, you learned something new. And when you're going to stand up and try the same thing again, seeking the thing that this way you actually not going to achieve the results, you must take a different approach to do a particular task. You're going to win again. In my case, it happened a couple of times. When I want to do a particular task, I chose a way how I want to do it. I failed, but I didn't fail because I learned from it. And then I took a different way to do that particular task, the same task. I failed again, but again I learned something new. And the third and fourth time, it was a time which I actually succeeded in having the positive results on that particular task. So that with that, I want to tell you one of the biggest saying that I have for me is fail. Fail faster, do practical. It's very important thing that we keep on doing or we start doing new things, because if we do new things, that's what we're gonna get the experience from, our motivation from. Now, the next is to understand what is the long term commitment, because when we're taking a decision or that big decision, it is not for short term basis. I can tell you, if you're like me, I have been taking those decision, keeping in mind that I have a long term goal. So, these are the few things that are needed to master the art of decision making, isn't it? I hope that you have liked it. This is one of the important things that we share as a part of our team in the online business space. So today, I would like to invite one of my team member who is a beautiful soul. She is from Houston, Texas in US, and she has jumped into the online business space in the recent past, and she has been performing tremendously. So let me invite Shivani.
Hi, Pankaj.
Welcome, Shivani. How are
Hi,
you?
hi, Pankaj. Thank you for inviting me on your page. I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. It's like quite windy and snowy here in this part of world. I'm in Calgary, and yeah, we are still surviving. How about you?
It's hot here. It's hot in Houston right now.
So, Shivani, you have been with us in the business, online business space for quite a while.
Yes.
How has been your journey so far? Can you share something about yourself?
Yeah, Pankaj. Hi, everyone. I'm Shivani, and I live in Houston, Texas, and I work in a med spa as a laser technician. And I started this business 2 years ago. And why I have started this business is because I was not happy with my job in sense of time flexibility and income potential. So that was the reason. That's why I have started this business.
It's always interesting, what motivates each other. So, what was the first thing that motivated you?
So I saw one ad actually, and I could actually resonate with that ad. I was actually looking for something where I can work from home and still generate income.
Okay, that's nice.
Mhm.
So, how is the journey so far? What was your experience, and what has been your experience so far? Like, let's talk about your first 30 days of starting, like being a person who goes to a job and then you started something which is taking at least like maybe some 2 or 3 hours of your time. How was the experience?
So experience was really good actually, because you can work, at your own time. You can set your own, hours. You can set your own schedule. So nobody's your boss there. You are on your own boss. So that's the beauty of this thing. And the training is here, so you can go at your own pace. It's very easy. Step by step training is there, and like which is very easy to follow.
So when you started with your training, how, what was the first point where you got stuck?
Mm, Stuck, like you can say, I'm still learning a lot of things. I'm still not doing live videos. I'm still learning a lot of things. I'm still not, I'm still camera shy. So I'm working on myself.
You actually reminded me of my old days when I started my business online a couple of years ago. It was same person. Like I've been the same person because even I was a mechanical design engineer working in a company in a MNC in India back home. But I never faced any camera. But I can really feel you like how important it is for us to be in front of the people.
Yes,
But at the same time, you feel shy. What you're gonna say, how it will be presented, and how gonna people perceive it, right?
right, right, right.
So tell us about a couple of things like what you have learned so far which you want to share with other people.
Okay, so I have learned how to be more disciplined. I have working on myself, that I actually, I was not in touch with books. So I love books. So I'm starting reading books again. That is working for me, because I'm a book person. So this thing, and how to be more organized. I'm more organized, and I'm working on myself, like mentally and physically both. It's just not, because this is requires a lot of work, because you want to know yourself. Who are you? So that you can help other people.
So
So I'm working
sounds
on
to me,
myself, like mentally and physically, and the training is awesome. And we have like mentors and coach in this business, who are always there to help you. Whenever you have a problem, you're always there to help you. you know
that's a nice part of being in an online space. But has it ever improved a part of the personal development thing? What do you say about it?
Yes, of course. That's why I'm like giving the interview today, because I was not ready for it before. So I think I'm ready. Like I can do live, and I'm like working on myself. So I can see a lot of improvement in myself, a personal improvement. I want to
Yeah,
mention one more thing. It's just not like all these things, but the most important thing is the motivation and inspiration that you get from the community. It's really good. It's really awesome. I have never
how
seen this kind of platform before, where you are learning and growing, at the same time. So, yeah, of course, I wanted a time flexibility for myself. This is the first thing. And of course, who who doesn't want a good amount of money?
of
So
course.
when you work, there's a fixed salary. Everything is fixed. But when you do any business, so there is nothing is fixed. You can set your own hours. You can work how much you want, how much you want to earn. So that's the thing. And I want to travel. I want to help my family, financially. So these are all the reasons, why I'm here.
That reminded me of my old days when I started looking for something online because I knew, a couple of years ago that something like that exists in the online space where I can go and earn my living rather than working for someone else. I read it somewhere in the article that, when we are working and when we are earning, it's just 8 hours a day, but
Right,
when we are working online as in a business, we are earning 24 hours a day. So that's 3 times the earning. And
right,
actually, that blew my mind.
right.
That's something that was something I never had ever thought of before reading that article. But yes, you're right. So tell me, what were the risks that you thought initially that would, or maybe there when you started, or maybe you were skeptical or something like that? Has it ever happened?
So actually, I will tell you, like, frankly, so I was not skeptical, but my husband was skeptical about it. He was like, "That's your hard-earned money, and I don't want you to, do something like that where you're just losing your money," or he was just scared. But I was not like that. Was my gut feeling that Like there are so many people are doing this business because I have done my research and I found this is legitimate, you know. And I have talked to my mentor and my coach so many times, so I was like pretty much, you know, satisfied. Like if you just
Absolutely,
have
absolutely.
1 or 2 hours in a day, it's amazing. Like while cooking, while, you know, doing some other chores, you can do this work, you know.
That's really good. To end up with, what would you say to the people watching this video who are still thinking of some doing something online and they need some motivation, maybe in few lines? What do you say?
So I want to say, like, if you want to, you know, live your life on your own terms, and you know, you want to help your family, you want to travel, or you want to retire soon, you know, or you want to spend time with your kids. So I would say that's the best platform to at least have a look at it. Do your research, and if you find that's for you, so just jump in. If I can do it, you can do it too. That's what I want to say.
Absolutely. If we can do it,
You can.
anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it.
That's right. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Shivani, for accepting my invitation to be with us on today. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you so much for inviting me.